Lina laka ke ofentse Irish Tinokana, also known as Irish the Poet. I am originally from a small village, Tantanana. I was born on 15 December 2001, and I am from a family of 4. Kinala Spono Kohai, Kinale, Bausibai 2, Le Abut 01. But I wasn't the youngest Kohai growing up. Kikhulile, my nephew, he is a big part of my life, I would say, from childhood and going forth.
Now, go tla ba shimane fo gaifana na bile na re tharrare maybe wetsa go gore ngwana ke first born ka ke moshimane then ke ene moshimane then ene ngwanyana then moshimane o tshameka lene. So
him being a guy, he really influenced a lot in terms of how I was dressing, how I was talking, you know, like because of him.
Like kolom gratsam kalabasi manefela khabar eita brale na ra eita bra so na ke le confused nya na ke ipotsa gore na re nna ke lena no sa adoptile style sa machita dintsha.
So yeah, I grew up in a block full of guys because next to pilaretwa re samga soka wa tla di go re di game nyana tsa bashimane
go fa ka no go tlala bananyana ba go tshamekiwa di bolo go tshamekiwa eng le ground we tona o fentse go diragala go nna ke bona le ga bile ne le coach mo baneng ba ne ba tla fa go tshamekiwa bolo kana go yo papa ge na bereka go Zimba na go mo ga nna go tswa di Zimba fela go setiwa ka di Zimba go tla tlapa ko di mo kwa engwe e tla ka kwana sekolo setso go tlo tshamekiwa kwa wetse go re ba tla ba seta ya lo ga sene ba seta maybe ba shete 5 rand ba win o fentse tshameka le mogara wa shimane le ene le coach le dio tsotletse a tshameka bile a coach marago ga fo ga ba winne fo go ba wina ga ba jelwe ba mbolela ke ntse ba lebeletsa ntharre ga se rena le engwe ya go seta fo go nkentsha le di Zimba tsone rena tsona mo ntlong ba seta ka tsona go tshamekiwa ga ba fetsa ba tlala jarte gape di a joa di Zimba tseo go a fe.
So from there, of course, next I by then those small things would influence my sexual orientation. But I continued like that. Playing soccer, you know, and from there, I graduated go Tantanana Primary School. So from there, it's like that thing it grew in me. Like it got worse because I remember my mom bought me a tunique for the graduation. And then kasimula ka lafo gore no nanga ska ya par like ke khudile ke ntse yalo man, you know. Later did I realize batho ba ntse ne ba mpitsa tomboy by then. So dilo tseo tse dinyane tseo really picked up in like ga ke gola. It became a thing ya gore, you know what, there were little, I don't know, hints for okay, you know, this is where you're going in terms of sexual orientation. So vele ha ke tswa ko Tantanana Primary School ka tsena ko St. Augustine, ka movela Monyorte to stay with my sister, right? So ha ke fitla ko St. Augustine, I was still the same, you know, I was still the same. From there ke tla na introduced to like English, you know, English language as a whole. I think from the government, they don't really give you much, you know, English in but then I got introduced to English language, St. Augustine, and later introduced to writing poems, you know, I really loved writing, and that's when I started writing a book. After being influenced by Taboli Dimo. He was a former student of St. Augustine. He got there, he came for motivational speaking one of these good days, and then he explained to us how he got to write a book, Alma Grade 9. Oh wow, like as a young child, I was mind blown. Like, yo guys, I was mind blown. Actually, he inspired me to be like, you know what? this thing you must wait until o 40 to accomplish those like it's overrated. He inspired me in that sense. By then nana ke nagane to tell my story of how I was caught in between my confusion, you know, between my sexual orientation and Christianity. I am from a background Bazalwane. We are Christians. I was born again 2010, and then so from that I was really in a tight spot. I felt like I needed intervention, so that's why I had to tone it down to just writing the book about that, you know, the battle between homosexuality and Christianity. And I started drafting my book, but then I was in high school when I started drafting my book. Grade 11 ko Irishtheartist.
Before high school, ara to itsenya le go sekolo mo matitšhereng fentse ne sengwa no iphitlhang gore a ntsha sengwe le sengwe sa ge ka boena le go sekolong go high school fentse ara to tlhagelela mo di-drameng moeng ra bona gore no fentse o na le talente e yana le yana fentse a ntse a kwala until fentse a ba kwale buka.
When I was in grade 11, I started performing my poetry, and from there, kasimula kaba confidence to write down my ideas, just tone it down to a book, to a novel. So I started drafting my book when I was in grade 11, around November, so simula hukala the exam. And then got paused because of the exam, and then I continued grade 12. When I was in my grade 12, and then from there, that's when I looked for a publisher.
What people yana asata file moto o buka ga isenge be yo a bolelele ka tšhelete isa re bolelele ka gore ga tlo re simolla re motho batla tšhelete buka ke ga setse buka ile go mothong so that moto gore re etse plana gore buka e patelwe e be feleletse e tlile wa tse ke fo ke lenga mmaka tsa teng wana ke mara ke mara no go tsaya dio tsa go o di tsa di fa motho ba di su buile rona sentle ka ntse re molelo ra rena tšhelete mara ena ipelela gore buka e ka entsha ene tle be nne a patelo ene tle be ntse mama le papa bo feletsa ba e patetse nna ka tota re feleletse re patetse buka e be ra feleletsa buka e tse re se ba ka gore tle be ra feletsa re bona buka ka matlho rona be ka re hai wa itse ngwana ga etsa solo na go mo go mothibela ene ga se batla o feleletsa tshore buka ka matsogage wa e rekisa o feditse ka buka gage ke ka mo gonna ke bona ke itse ngwana wa ka teng gore ngwana na sengwe sa batlang go setsa wa setsa.
Sometimes because we are afraid to actually approach certain stuff because we think, you know what, they're just gonna sabotage me, but this and that, and which is the mentality that my mom had, and that's why I went ahead and sent my book to Poshiakel companies. Because just to prove my worth, just to prove, you know what, it's worth publishing, and this and this and that. It was stubborn as well. It was stubborn of me to do that. My father started talking to my publisher personally, and they spoke about the quotation. They spoke about a lot to do with the book, and they needed the money for editing and publishing as well, printing. So after that, I think it took about like 6 months for the whole editing process, and that's when I 2019, and then I went to varsity 2020 ko UNISA, the Pretoria campus. So I moved there, and that's when my publisher sent me an email. We are done with the editing process. So what we need is we're gonna do from here is we're gonna send you a sample, and then you can just confirm with us, is it okay that we can formalize the printing? And then okay, fine. She sent me a sample. I went through the sample. From there, I think I fixed a few stuff that had to do with editing, and then from there that's when we received the book. I think a week after we received 100 copies. PTA. So my father called me and said, you know what, the book and they look so nice, like, you know, we're impressed with the work that your publisher did. When I came to Rustenburg, I took it upon myself, you know what, I think the good thing to do here would be to do a book launch, to market the book. And then in the, I think, first week I came across a poster, a book launch, the book Tlhabane Makgoa, which is a book written by Linda Jele. So I attended the book launch go Tlhabane, and then from there, that's when I learned a lot about what a book launch is. And I asked questions also that related to the book launch, you know, how you market your book and stuff like that. From there, I also got in touch with Linda Jele, and he really helped me a lot in terms of connection. That's when he introduced me to Linda. She is a book shop owner, Lesedi Bookshop. And from there, my book was sold to Lesedi Bookshop and also go Tlhabane via Ntate Kidney, Motlhabane, the owner of Spa, Motlhabane. And then he sold my books there as well. And from there, that's when we planned book launch Linda. And she hosted us to have a book launch for Lesedi Bookshop. It was on the 4th of December 2020. And from there, from the book launch, that's when I started selling the book myself as well. So the book is sold go Lesedi Bookshop, go Tlhabane go Spa, also through me. Okay, and then I came across Mabana acting classes. I attended acting classes go Mabana. Is where I also got a platform to market my books. I met up Ali Brass Groove, learning and introducer to how I can market my book, you know. So during the course of acting, and the platforms that it came about also helping me market the book. I went to exhibitions, I went to women-based exhibitions to market my book as well. What I had hoped to achieve by writing the book was, honestly, it was just about me having a point of intervention. Because like I said, more a background in Christianity, so I didn't really have somebody to talk to about literally that has to do with homosexuality, and basically about that. So I needed to rely on something, you know, to really that was bothering me at the time. So writing was the only thing that I could really rely on at that time. Did I achieve what I wanted to achieve by writing the book? I would say it's a yes and a no type of situation. Because it's a no because I still hadn't, you know, really that I wanted to talk about at that time. Had it not been for my cousin who's also a homosexual, I don't think I would be able to feel okay, because like I said, I can still not talk to my family about it, you know. Also, I think it's a yes because made my parents and my family aware that I was going through this type of thing. I was going through confusion. I was going through homosexuality plus Christianity. You know, I was going through a lot. And it wasn't a thing they listen to you and then they're like, okay, fine. It was a thing they tell you what to do. So it didn't really help me emotionally to release. It was a thing of, okay, sharp, we know you are lesbian, and then what's going to happen now is you're going to pray about it, you're going to fast about it, and we move on. So it's a yes or a no type of situation. Can you expect another version of the book? Of course. I always told people who had asked me about the book, we really feel like you didn't finish the book on the right note, which is the truth, correct, and nothing but the truth. Yes, I plan on writing part 2 of the book, and I also plan on expanding the type of media that I used, which was writing. So I think I'm also gonna go for it being in film, just to, reach out to other target market and really grow, I don't know, try to achieve what I wanted to achieve on a more bigger scale. How is the community reacting to the book? Hey, yeah, ne. The community where I'm from, Kutantanana, but I'm treated like a celebrity. They haven't read the book. They don't know what the book is all about. But all they know is this is the girl that wrote the book. Every time I'm going home or I get home, they're like, this is the girl that wrote the book. Hey, when I put a respect on that girl, bona, That's but I would say on a serious note though, I would say the community expects a lot from me. They expect me to really bring change to a small village, Tantanana,
Nna ke itumella ka mokgo ngwana a lekang ka teng ga ka phomella mo bophelong. O ngwa ka tsoga dira sengwenyana mo bone leke ya nna mo yone. Ka tsoga a nna le sengwenyana sa se dira. E sa gore ba bang a thuse ba bang gore ba kgone go kry patla tiro.
How is the book doing and how are people reacting to the book? I think like right now things are really getting there. People are still not invested in reading, which is something that we as writers need to enforce into the art and culture. So people are now starting to be aware, okay, you know what, there's a book and I have to read a book. They are starting to buy, invest more into buying books. So Art Rustenburg right now is growing, and with events that I have been called to come and perform at poetry, that is, I also take my book with to exhibit, go the event. So I think right now people are reacting to the book itself than when I started launching the book. It was still a new thing, okay, we have to read a book, we have to read a book. I think right now the marketing things, part of things are getting there, and the sales as well of the book. People are aware of the book. There's not really a lot of art art and culture that is going on Kotantanana. So I would say the community expects a lot from me to really bring publicity, to bring awareness of the art, and they are proud, man. Like I said, they haven't read the book, and and not a lot of them are really educated to an extent that they can read a book, because the book is written in English, and which I understand, I was advised by Department of Arts I should also translate the book to Setswana so that it can also be modikolo, I don't blame them. I mean, they're really supportive, man. They're really supportive. They're proud that they have somebody from Tantanana, such a small village, who came about to write a book, and yeah, they're proud. They're really proud.
Ke tore o fentse o nkeletse metlholo ene bile ke a mo lebogisa ngwanake ke re ngwanaka iske ka nna ntata go tlhompa rona batsadi ba go fela rena re nosi tlhompa ntate o mongwe le o mongwe o kopanang le nne jaaka go ntse o dira, and I'm proud of you ngwanaka gore kana go tse o bo feditse sekolo sa gago ebile o le ko university o ise o disappoint ka jalo ngwanaka tshwara yalo, and then o dule go rapela kana go tsotlhile o tshabe modimo o itse gore modimo ke ene a go ratang ke ena go bopile ngwanaka o tlhompe motsadi o molo mongwe kopanang le ena ra go lebogisa ka tsotlhile tso dirang re lebogela buka ya gago e o e kwadileng di tsotlhe tso dirang gone yanong tswella ngwanaka ra go lebogisa e bile re go eletsa masego le matlhogonolo
And thank you very much.